Start here in Gauteng in this hour, where the ANC in the province has fired Merafong Municipal Executive Mayor Maphefo Letsie and also recalled Boysie Maneli from Parliament. Letsie and Maneli have been fired for not taking action against municipal officials who were involved in the VBS bank scandal. Maneli is the former mayor of the West Rand Municipality. However, the ANC Provincial Executive Committee has cleared Johannesburg Regional Chairperson Geoff Makhubo of any wrongdoing. This follows an investigation by the ANC Integrity Commission. Joining us now to take the discussion further is the ANC's Gauteng spokesperson, Modise. Dr. Modise, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News channel.
Afternoon to you and afternoon to your viewers.
All right. So take us through the decisions that were taken earlier today by the PEC.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, and let me firstly clarify that the decisions were not taken today or earlier today in the PEC, but the decisions were taken last night in the Provincial Executive Committee meeting, and today we're just communicating the decisions of the PEC, because we had made a commitment as the Provincial Executive Committee of Gauteng that any decision that the Provincial Executive Committee will take that affects the people of Gauteng, immediately after such decision had been taken, we'll come back and communicate such decision with the people of Gauteng. So that's what we did today, was to inform the people of Gauteng as to what is the decision of the PEC in relation to Comrade Geoff Makhubo, the Executive Mayor of Johannesburg, Comrade Maphefo Letsie, the Executive Mayor of Merafong, and Comrade Boysie Maneli, the former Executive Mayor of West Rand Municipality.
All right, so the PEC's decision, if you could just give us a brief explanation as to how that was arrived at, because the Provincial Integrity Commission could not establish if the two mayors were involved in any acts of corruption. Now, the question is, why have they been asked to step aside and resign, whereas they were not found guilty of any wrongdoing by the PIC itself?
Remember, the most important responsibility of the Provincial Integrity Commission is to establish whether an alleged individual, his or her action has somehow affected the brand and the image of the African National Congress. That's the first thing that Provincial Integrity Commission must look at. And in this instance, when their report came back, they said the two comrades involved, there's no direct evidence that linked them to any corrupt activity. However, these two comrades would have not played their responsibility or their role, their oversight role in ensuring that the money of government was not invested in VBS as it is the norm. So the biggest issue here was that the money of the municipality, about 127 million combined, was invested in VBS. And these two comrades, in their responsibility as the executive mayors, did not play that important technical oversight to ensure that those things did not happen. And they did happen, even though they were advised differently not to agree to the investment of the money of the municipality.
We're struggling to hear you. I think it's because of the wind that's blowing. But let's just try to carry on with the conversation and see how far we get. So part of what you're saying is that as political heads, they should account to the money that was lost in this entire VBS bank and VBS mutual bank scandal. The question now arises, will there be consistency in the future? We do know that the MEC of Health, Bandile Masuku, and his wife will also appear before the PIC. So will there be consistency going forward, even if the SIU was to exonerate them from any wrongdoing?
I'm not sure if you can hear me, but the wind is becoming too strong for me this side. But if I heard you correctly, you are asking if there will be action against these comrades or the officials in the municipality. What we can safely confirm with you is that there is an investigation that is independent of what the political process was all about. The Provincial Integrity Commission is not about legalities and law enforcement agents. All it had to do was to deal with the political ramification of the decisions of the employees of the ANC in government. The second to that is that there is an ongoing investigation that has to involve the law enforcement agencies, which when it's concluded, it will also indicate if there are people that must appear before courts of law and so on. So that space we cannot enter into what we were supposed to deal with. It's a decision of the Integrity Commission.
I'm afraid due to the wind blowing where you are, we are unable to hear you. We have to leave it at this. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Bones Modise. He is ANC's Gauteng spokesperson. Unfortunately, the sound is terrible, so we really have to leave that discussion at that. But of course, to be continued here on the SABC News channel. Let's move along.